kind of universal mind. What form that takes, I don't know whether you call that God or whether you call that something that God created. But I feel it exists. It seems more plausible to me that it exists than that it doesn't exist. You could say, no, nonsense, it's all just wish fulfillment. It's a handy-dandy thing to have to keep the masses happy. But all this spirit stuff is nonsense. But it's a useful way of living your life, which is one way of thinking about God, which is that God doesn't really exist, but you've got to invent him because man needs to believe in something like it in order to live a meaningful life. So basically it's really fiction, but nevertheless you've still got to go through with it, because otherwise you just fall into despair and stuff like that. We're self-conscious, and because we're self-conscious and we're inward looking, when we look inside we don't see anything. It's empty, and that makes us very worried. So we have to invent something to put in there. Why are we here? As soon as you ask that question, there's like a big black hole. And if the answer is, well, it doesn't really matter why you're here, then the answer is, well, what's the point of carrying on then? I believe in it, but I'm still not sure whether or not I'm conning myself or not. But I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that idea, because once I've accepted that there is something, whether it's a big like overmind that links all humanity or links the universe in some way, whatever it is, or whether it's a bloke on a cloud with the big white beard and the stick, Gandalf, or all the various other permutations of religion, whether it's Buddha and we keep coming back and we keep peeling ourselves off like skins of an onion and off we go, whatever permutation of religion it is. And there's something comforting actually about all of them. I'm still not sure ultimately whether or not I'm just talking myself into this whole thing. But there are certain things, there are certain moments in your life when you do have, very special feelings, completely outside of yourself, very powerful feelings. Birth of kids, it's one that springs to mind immediately. Something that just drags you into this, something absolutely wondrous happens, and you think, wow, that's far more real than reality. That's approaching like an ultimate reality. I do find the idea of I suppose you could put it, the essence of you, the thing that's actually really, really deep down, like way beyond, selfishness and ego, and that there's something that inside everybody that's, I suppose you call it soul, something that's basically good, and it's really, really deep. And if that carries on, it's probably a good thing. But personal faith is so personal that I think you have to you have to say that you can't communicate it to other people. It's something you hold very deeply within yourself, and the only way that people can access it is themselves, and possibly by seeing somebody else acting in a certain way and sort of going, well, what's the big deal with them? What have they Why do they always seem so happy or glowing or whatever it is, and if it's some kind of justification that, that they have, and you can say it's faith, then people say, well, maybe I should have a bit of that.